I am a football coach. It's the fall of 2003, and I am working for my alma mater as an undergraduate admissions counselor, and I'm going to various high schools, very much like this one, standing in auditoriums, speaking to groups of students, like many of you, about our undergraduate admissions process. As I'm there, I would often go to inspire the young people, inspire the students, so that they could be all that they can be, and ultimately become students at the University of Michigan. I would go there to help them make a connection between where they were and ultimately where they wanted to go. I would go there to help them, but in reality, most often they ended up helping me. And so it was on an afternoon in the fall of 2003. I've completed a circuit of classrooms and I'm a little bit tired. And so I decide that I'm going to go and stop by the principal's office before I leave. I walk into the principal's office and I sit down, and sitting next to me is a young man. And he doesn't look happy. I knew that look because as hard as it is to believe now, I spent many days in the principal's office. And so here he is, he's sitting there with this frown on his face, and here I am thinking I could change everybody, I can help change the world. I'm going to talk to this young man to help basically get a smile on his face. And so I asked him a question, and the answers that he gave me led me to a realization that has totally changed my life. I said to him, "Why are you in the principal's office?" He said, "I got kicked out the classroom." "Why'd you get kicked out the classroom?" "I was kicked out the classroom for throwing chairs." Okay, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? Anyone ever heard that question before? What do you want to do when you graduate from high school? "I want to be a football coach." But what do the people in your class think about you? The people that you were throwing those chairs at, what do they think about you? "They think I'm a fool." Well, which one are you? Are you the fool or are you the football coach? Success is defined as the correct or desired result of an attempt. It's when I'm able to achieve that which I've set out to do. All of us this morning at this TEDx seminar have come today to hear about, in some ways, how we can achieve some modicum of success. All of us come from different stages and ages and places, and particularly my young people here today, all of you are focused solely on trying to be the person that you believe you were born to be. And you're here today hopefully to learn something that will help you along the way. And so in these conversations that we have, they typically center on the end of that definition, the destination. And so we'll ask you very much like I asked the young man, what do you want to do with your life? And you'll make up an answer. Well, I want to be great one day. I want to be amazing one day. Because the truth is nobody wants to fail. And then we will give you our best information to help you to become this person. We'll tell you, you can make it. You can get there. You can have everything in life that you want to have. And the truth is, there is something valuable in that for all of us, because you do need to know that you can make it. Right now, this morning, some of you have come here with doubts about whether you can achieve this goal, about whether you can achieve this dream. And it's my obligation and mission this morning not to leave this stage without you understanding that each and every goal that you have set for yourself is attainable. It is possible. You can make it. And not only can you make it, but you have everything that you need to make it. You see, there are some of us this morning who spend all of our time looking at what we don't have. And some of you come from wonderful backgrounds. Some of you come from backgrounds that aren't so wonderful, but you share the same thing. You wake up in the morning and you look around and how bad my life is. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. But the reality is, no matter where you started in life, You can make it. You have everything that you need. You have all of the people in your life that you need. You have all of the resources that you need. You have all of the hope that you need. Wait a minute, boy. Now, you don't know me. You don't know where I come. I don't care where you come from. Somebody helped you to get in this auditorium today. And if that's the only person that you have everything that you need to make it. So you do not have an excuse to give up in this journey of success because of what you don't have. Look at what you do have. Take what you have and make something out of it. You can make it. But there's a problem. And the problem is, I get you all pumped up on the you can make it steroids, and then you go back out into the world, you go back to your homes, you go back to your communities, and something automatically happens. You are confronted with the reality of success. The reality of success is that definition is as much about the journey as it is about destination. It's as much about how I get to where I'm going as it is about where I'm trying to go. And so many of us, as soon as we encounter the journey, you're looking around like, well, you telling me I can make it. But Mr. White, you didn't tell me how. You didn't tell me how to overcome these obstacles. You didn't tell me how to overcome my pain. You didn't tell me how to overcome my confusion. Somebody's got to tell me how. The how question is difficult, particularly when we think about our subject today, talking about the human experience. How forces us to use an aspect of our humanity that we're not used to dealing with. See, most of us as human beings, as young people, we deal with things according to what we can sense. Our taste, our touch, our feeling, our hearing, our smelling. And if I can't register this on this spectrum of life, on my senses, then I won't put time into it. If my dream is not something that looks like what I've seen before, if my dream is not something that is something that's normal to me, if it's beyond anything I've ever dreamed of, then I don't know if I can make it. I can't conceptualize it. And so I get into a classroom and I start doing things that I'm not supposed to do. Instead of sitting in chairs, I'm throwing them. Instead of turning pages, I'm ripping them out. Instead of using pencils to write, I'm breaking them. Instead of putting ink on paper, I'm putting it on my body. Why? Because my dream is so far beyond my concept, so far beyond my natural ability to understand that I get lost. But it's in the how I make my dream that I understand something about my imagination. That sometimes young people in your life, I want you to listen very carefully to me, because right now there is an epidemic of young people just like you who are giving up on your lives. And you sit in sessions just like this and you look around, you're looking up at the lights and you're looking up at all this and that, when the truth that will save your life is right in front of you. You're doing things to take yourself out of life when hope in life is standing in front of you. You've got to sometimes close your eyes and use your imagination and see where you want to go. Look past Toledo. Look past your house. Look past the theater that you're in right now and see the world in which you want to end up. And it's when you close your eyes that you can then begin to see that which you can't see. You'll begin to hear when in what you're hearing now you can't be heard. You'll begin to feel when there's no sensation. You'll begin to smell when there's no aroma. Because when you close your eyes, you leave the world as it is now and you begin to walk in the world as you want it to be. But first you've got to ask yourself the question, am I a fool or a football coach? So the young man looked at me like some of y'all looking at me this morning like, what in the world is this man talking about? Am I a fool or a football coach? And number one, I can't believe he called me a fool. Well, I understood something from my time in the theater. I understood that whatever you practice in rehearsal is what you're going to perform on the night of the show. As an actor, an undergrad, high school, elementary school, I was a serial paraphraser. I said the lines the way I wanted to say them. The line, Langston Hughes, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat or crusted sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode? That's the line. That was the line I was given. But in my mind, I'm boy white. I'm talented. I'm going to be somebody when I grow up. I'm going to say the lines the way I want to say them. I don't care what my director told me. So I would be in these rehearsals and I would say the lines my way. What happens when a dream gets deferred? You know what I'm saying? Does it just dry up or does it stink? What? And the director's like, boy, what you doing? You messed the lines up. I didn't mess the lines up, man. I'm boy white. I was born for this. On the night of the show, I'm going to do the lines the way they're supposed to be. Don't worry about it. Remember I told the teacher one time, she said, boy, you're so much smarter than your grade point average. I said, look, lady, when I get to college, I'm going to turn it on. So here I go, 8 weeks of rehearsal, night after night, scene after scene, day after day, saying the lines the way I want to say it because I'm boy white, I'm arrogant, just like some of you. You got people fooled about who you are. Your teachers know who you are because they see your grade point average. But you walking around like everything is all right. We're trying to get you to be the best you can be, trying to get you to be more than what you are. But no, I don't want to do that. When in reality, you're just scared to be the person that you know you can be. That's who I was. I was lazy. I didn't want to do it in that moment because in my mind, I figured I could just turn it on. So here it is. The moment of truth. Night of the show. My mark is on the stage. My mother and father are sitting in the back. My girlfriend sitting over there. Hey, baby. All my friends are in the audience. High school teachers have come up to Ann Arbor to see me. I am excited. This is my moment. I'm going to be on Broadway. So here I go. I'm looking at the mark. It's my cue. It's my time to run. And in my mind, I know the line. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? I had rehearsed it over and over in my mind so many times. I was ready to do it, but it's in my mind. And here I come, and out of my mouth comes, what happens to a dream when it's deferred? Does it dry up like a what? How did I get here? How did I have so much talent in my mind? How did I have so much ability in my mind? How did I have everything together in my mind? And here I am failing in the moment of truth. How did I get here? Because I didn't understand something. I practiced doing it wrong for 8 weeks. All I knew how to do was to do it the wrong way. What made me think that I could practice doing it wrong for 8 weeks, then bam, all of a sudden I was going to do it right? Some of you listening to me this morning, you think that one day you're going to turn it on. But there is a connection between who you are right now, as beautiful as you look, as bright and bushy-tailed as you are. There is a connection between some of you waddling in mediocrity and having a life that you don't want to have. Don't listen to me at your peril. Because I would see people as an admissions counselor, they would be there with me and they would say, Boyd, I want to get into Michigan, but we would deny them because they didn't understand that their steps were taking them somewhere. But I understood that, and that's what I said to that young man. You've got to make a connection between who you are right now and the person that you believe you were born to be. You don't have to wait until you get a team to be a football coach. Being a football coach starts now. You don't have to wait until you get a law degree to be a lawyer. Being a lawyer starts now. To be a doctor, being a doctor starts now. To being a teacher starts now. To being whatever you want to do in your life, it all starts right now. So stop thinking that your future starts tomorrow and realize that everything you're going to do with your life begins today. It's time for you to understand that you are not a fool. You are a football coach.